Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtiprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. Okay, coming back to our Srimad Bhagavatam discussion, Canto 1, Chapter 2. So text 17 onwards we'll discuss today. So last time we discussed that how one gets the affinity to hear and to glorify the Supreme Lord, and that one gets by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice. Syan Mahat Sevya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. By serving the devotees, one gets an affinity to engage more in hearing and chanting. And now it is, Sud Goswami is telling what happens by hearing and chanting. Text 17. Shanvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravan Kirtana Hridyantasto Yavadrani Vidunoti Suhrit Satam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So this is what happens. One who has developed the taste for hearing and chanting, Krishna, what he does, Krishna sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart, from our heart, he cleanses the desire for material enjoyment. When we repeatedly hear Krishna's glories, Krishna Katha, then the desire for material enjoyment, desire that we want to enjoy in the material goes away. Why? Just like there are so many demons that Krishna killed when he was in Vrindavan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has compared all these demons to different desires in our heart, different anarthas in our heart. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if somebody hears with full faith and sincerity Krishna's killing of various demons, then that particular anartha is removed from our heart. It gets removed. Slowly, slowly it gets removed. It's so powerful. Just hearing Krishna's pastime of killing various demons. When sometimes if we get a chance, we will do this seminar. I had done this seminar on demons that Krishna killed in Vrindavan and what do they represent according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it is said towards the end of every chapter when Shukdev Goswami was speaking those chapters, if you have heard this faithfully, if you have heard, he asked Parikshit Maharaj, have you heard this faithfully? Have you heard this faithfully? Because the idea was, if he hears it faithfully, if he hears it full attention, then that demon sitting in the heart, whatever the anartha it represents, it will go away. It's so powerful. And that's why it is said that when we hear the glories of Krishna, then our desire to enjoy here, it definitely vanishes. Because then we want to, and then we develop attraction towards Krishna and we want to be with him in the spiritual world. So who wants to be in the material world? This is a benefit of listening to Krishna's pastimes, Krishna Katha. And that's why those transcendentalists who say that, oh, Krishna is Nirakar, Paramram, Param Jyoti, it's all Nirakar, there is no form, there are no pastimes. So they don't have that kind of faith. They don't get that kind of taste in the pastimes, in the hearing and reading of the pastimes of Krishna. And that's why they cannot make progress properly. And they still have this desire for material enjoyment. They develop. Why? What is the material enjoyment? Of course, they are working towards going to Brahmjyoti. They don't want to live here in the material world. But even the desire to liberate, to go for liberation, even the desire to finish off everything here and go for liberation, that's also considered a material desire. Many acharyas have explained. A devotee has no desire, none whatsoever, except serving Krishna. That's my only desire. Whether he keeps me here, whether he keeps me in the spiritual world with him, whether he sends me to hell, doesn't matter. I just want to serve him. That's all. So that's a perfect desire. So that's why it's called desirelessness. Rest every desire, even the desire for liberation, is a desire. And devotee does not want even that desire. So that's why it is said, when we hear about Krishna, it cleanses all the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee. Let's see what Prabhupada writes. Messages of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, are non-different from him because it's about Krishna. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken. And Prabhupada, look at all the words that Prabhupada uses. When Srila Prabhupada, of course, this first canto Prabhupada wrote when he was in India, and rest of the cantos he translated when he was in America or he was traveling. And one place Prabhupada has said that these books that Prabhupada has written, they will be the law books for the mankind for the next 10,000 years. So any law book, and that especially the original author is not here, so he cannot edit his own books, means these books will remain as it is. So these are the law books for next 10,000 years, law books for the practice of devotion service. So that's why Prabhupada was very, very careful in choosing each and every single word in these purports. Of course, Prabhupada also said that Krishna himself dictated him all the purports and he basically spoke. But still, Prabhupada was very, very careful in choosing every single word. And look at the words Prabhupada uses. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification. He puts the word here, offenseless. So it's very important. We don't commit offenses when we hear or glorify Krishna. Are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Means Krishna's name, Krishna's glories, Krishna's form, Krishna himself, there's no difference. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtaka declares clearly that the holy name of the Lord has all the potencies of the Lord and that he has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency. Namna Makari Bhuda Nijya Sarva Shaktis Tatra Arpita. So means Krishna has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency that he has. But some places it is said, some acharyas have analyzed this and said that Krishna, of course, Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different, but Krishna's name is more powerful than Krishna and more merciful than Krishna. That's another analysis. Why? It is said that if we commit any offense against Krishna, like in his service, in the deity of Krishna, we can take shelter of the holy name and that offense will be removed. But if we commit offense against the holy name, there is no shelter, except serving the holy name, begging from the holy name, begging forgiveness and serving the holy name by chanting more. So holy name is more powerful and more merciful in the sense that we cannot take the deity, the form of Krishna in the toilet, in so many dirty place. But even over there, we can chant the name of Krishna. So Krishna is not different from his name, but his name is more merciful because we can chant it anywhere, anytime, any place. We can be in a bed, sleeping, we can chant his name. We can be passing stool or urine, we can chant his name. There's no problem. But we can take the deity of Krishna. We cannot take Srimad Bhagavatam with us in the toilet. But Krishna's name, we can chant anywhere. So name is considered more merciful and more powerful. There is no rigid fixture of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that he can present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But unfortunately, we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. That's a problem. We have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. So how to develop that taste? It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotee of the Lord. So when pure devotee of the Lord is pleased, he can bestow upon us this chanting and attraction for chanting and hearing. Yesterday, when Mataji sent a audio message on a group asking different questions. So one of our questions was, why, if we have to do gossiping and then whatever, we can spend hours and hours, but when it comes to chanting, then we start thinking, oh, I have to chant 8 rounds, I have to chant 16 rounds, and it will take half an hour or 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Who has that kind of time? And we start developing no affection. Well, the only reason we have no affection is because we haven't served the pure devotee, and we have no taste in the chanting. Once we develop a taste, then we will not even go for gossiping, mundane gossiping. We enjoy it a lot in the beginning stages, but main taste is in the holy name. So we have to work on it. We have to try to develop the taste. The process here is given is service of the pure devotees. And then, like Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, that just like if somebody has a disease called jaundice, so in that disease, anything sweet he tastes, it tastes to him, it's very bitter. Sugar cane, even if he takes sugar cane, for him, the taste is very bitter. But what's the cure for jaundice? The cure for jaundice is keep taking this sugar cane or the sweet things. So slowly, the taste comes back. So similarly, in the holy name, although we don't have a taste right now, we don't like to chant. We don't even get whatever the ecstatic emotion explained in different. Keep on chanting the holy names and try to keep on chanting offenselessly. And then slowly, the taste will develop. And if we keep on chanting, keep on serving pure devotees of the Lord, keep on serving Srila Prabhupada, we will develop a taste by the mercy of Prabhupada, by the mercy of the holy name. We'll develop a taste. And when that taste develops, then definitely we'll give up this lower taste of mundane gossiping, criticizing, backbiting, and all of the different pastimes that we do. So this is the reason because we don't have a taste, that's why we don't like to sit down and chant. But the only way to develop taste is sit down and chant. Prabhupada further writes, the Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that devotee may easily go back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Wonderful line by Srila Prabhupada. Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. We don't want to go back. But Krishna is more anxious. He is like Let's take them back. I'm fine working in Sopra Steria, I'm fine working whatever I do. But Krishna says, no, 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 you're not fine. You don't know what you're doing. Just come back to me. So he is making all the arrangements. Proper, right? Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Shri Krishna helps in all respects. This is Krishna's position. We all say, we read like previously also, Krishna means, Bhagwan means full of six opulences and completely full. So we say there is nothing lacking in Krishna. Krishna is full of everything. What is there that is lacking in him? But there's still one thing that is lacking in him. Even he is not completely full. And you know what is lacking in him? The thing that is lacking in him is my love. He does not have my love. And that's why it makes him more anxious, because he wants to be complete. So my love is not there. So he wants to bring me back. He wants to give me his love. But he himself doesn't do that. So he does it through his devotees, through his servants. And there's a nice incident that comes in Brihad Bhagavatam. Now you'll say, what, is Srimad Bhagavatam not enough? Now we have talked about Brihad Bhagavatam also. Well, that's one scripture that Sanatana Goswami wrote. So maybe one of these years when we finish all of Prabhupada's books, then we can take up Brihad Bhagavatam. So in Brihad Bhagavatam, there's a story of Gop Kumar. The main character is Gop Kumar. The wonderful pastimes that Gop Kumar goes through. And finally, he reaches Golok Vrindavan. He goes through different places in the material world, then he goes above, then finally he reaches Golok Vrindavan, the topmost planet. And when he reaches there, and it was a time in the evening, Godhuli time. Godhuli time is a time in the evening when all the cows come back from the forest after grazing. So Krishna, Balram, and unlimited number of cowherd boys, they were there and bringing all the unlimited number of cows back. And Krishna and Balram were, obviously, they were in the front, leading the pack. So Gop Kumar enters Golok Vrindavan at that time. And he sees Krishna and Balram. And Krishna came running towards Gop Kumar. And Gop Kumar also ran towards Krishna. They both embraced each other because they haven't seen each other for a long time. And because of so much of ecstasy Gop Kumar had after he saw Krishna, and Krishna had after he saw Gop Kumar, and they both fell down on the ground unconscious because there was so much in ecstasy seeing each other. After a while, Gop Kumar got up. He came back into his consciousness. But Krishna was still unconscious. So it is explained that Krishna will find more pleasure, more ecstasy in seeing us back in the spiritual world than the pleasure that we'll get by seeing Krishna in the spiritual world. That's how much he loves us. And that's how much he is anxious for us to go back. But we are so stubborn. Deet, jisko bolte na. We are so stubborn. We don't want to go back. But after all, Krishna is all powerful. So he'll make the arrangements. Even if we try to be happy here, he'll create some situations that will make us miserable. If we get proud of anything, proud of our knowledge, proud of our beauty, proud of our wealth, proud of our whatever capabilities we have, he'll take away. those things. By his main aim is not those things. His main aim is to take away our pride. His main aim is to make us humble, more tolerant. And because in that state of mind, we can chant the holy name constantly. And we can chant the holy name attentively. We can chant the holy name with more feelings. That's why he likes to put his devotees in desperate situations. Why? He's not what do they call, he doesn't enjoy putting us in desperate situations or in helpless situations. Why he does that? Because in that situation we chant his name. We remember him properly. We chant his name feelingly, emotionally, with longing, in a helpless mood, in a helpless condition. So instead of him putting us in helpless condition, if we try to chant his name in a helpless mood, if we develop that mood, because he wants us to develop that mood, condition doesn't matter to him, but the mood is what is important. So then that chanting is pure. Have you ever noticed? If we are in any situation, we cannot do anything. Just like suppose we are flying and the captain says, "Oh, there is big turbulence and we are going down." Can you imagine how good the chanting will come out of our mouth that time? We'll be really chanting, "Krishna, please help me. Please give me shelter. Please protect me." That is the real chanting. Right now we chant, we just try to finish our rounds, that's all. And when we chant, we don't chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We chant Hare Kitna, 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 Hare Hare. Means kitna ho gaya or kitna reh gaya. How much we have done and how much is left. We don't chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is what he wants to remove. The complacent chanting. That's not going to please him. And this is what Prabhupada is writing. And then look at the lines he wrote. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Not even what we do. We can even desire that much that Krishna wants, that Krishna's desire is there to take us back. And that's why somehow we have come in contact with Prabhupada and Prabhupada's followers. And they're giving us this push every time. Chant, read, do some service, do this, do that. That will purify us. Purify what? Purify our consciousness. In the consciousness, we have so many material desires to enjoy in the material world. And Krishna is going to remove those impurities. Like he knows, until they are removed, this boy, this girl, they cannot come back. This is what he does when he sits in the heart, and then he tries to give us some taste for chanting. Okay, develop the taste, chant more. Prabhupada is writing, one cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. The material sins are products of a desire to lord it over material nature. It's very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems. I mean, for men, women, and for women, men, obviously, are very difficult problems for the devotees making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotion line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is held by the Lord himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. So I guess we should stop here because, there's only 2 lines left. Okay. To become restless in the contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment because every living being is associated with such things from remote time, practically immemorial. And it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes his real position. By the grace of the God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. So this is the effect of hearing and chanting of Krishna's name. So we'll stop here. See, anybody has any questions or comments? Prabhupada's purports are amazing. You just have to read them slowly, slowly till they will sink in. Hare Krishna. Radha Prabhu or?
I just switched on my audio. I didn't have any question.
Okay. I guess I touched some some delicate points in the nerves today. I'm sorry. But Prabhupada's purports are so amazing. What can I do?
Actually, Prabhuji, these are eye openers. So we need these type of eye openers. We are always in sleeping mode, so we need someone to wake up.
Well, all of us are. All of us are. And purports are really guiding lights for every devotee. And look at every line that Prabhupada writes, every word that he puts in those lines are very, very important.
Very impactful.
What's that?
I said Prabhupada's lines are very impactful.
Very, very important. Nobody can match these lines. Nobody. Chalo. So everybody have a very wonderful day, very Krishna conscious day. Please get on with your activities. Do chant, do read purpose, and we'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Ram.